How the heck are you, Virgo? Welcome. This is Allastrology, and my name is G. We are going to talk about your November. An eclipse and then a new moon. But after I talk about each of those events, I'm going to pull a card, right? I'm mixing them right now. So let's get right into this for you, Virgo. You're having an eclipse is all about your beliefs. You have Taurus energy in your ninth house. Yes. So having Taurus in your ninth, it's about your values, right? And so you may have had times in your life where your values, you may have been quite fixed on your values, okay? Because that's Taurus energy. It's fixed by nature. It's very grounded and earthy. It's Taurus, so it's peaceful. It's typically benevolent. Having it in the ninth house is actually a very nice placement to have it because the ninth house is religion and spirituality. It is higher learning. And so that part becomes difficult for Taurus because when it comes to Taurus energy, it's cautious. It can be slow and very methodical. Right. So why does that matter? Well, if you think about this, I want you to take a minute. Did you go to college? And if you did, how was it for you? And it doesn't mean you did or didn't go, or and there's no judgment involved. Although I have to admit, having Taurus in the ninth house is judgment. Yeah, it's a person who can make judgments on others, and the judgments would be based on your fixed values, of course. But getting beyond all of that, because we all can be very judgmental at times in our lives, no doubt. Yeah. Anyway, just thinking about what we've all been through, right? So what happens is Taurus, and having a passion, Virgo having a passion for details, but because Taurus is over there in that ninth house, it's the placement of Jupiter. So what happens is that Jupiter and Sagittarius energy tends to expand upon the details, right? So it may be at times accused of being a bit long-winded, right? I know a little bit about that. This eclipse has a combination, like a 1-2 factor to it, okay? It involves a release and a let go of something, but it also involves getting something new, right? So it's kind of like the way I see it as just releasing and letting go to make room for the new that's coming in. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like this, oh, boo-hoo, I got to let something go. Well, what is it that you're going to be releasing? And what is it you're going to be getting, right? So let's talk about that. If it's a release and a let go and it's in Taurus, Taurus is my money and my values, right? It's my creature comforts. It's the earth energy. Absolutely. So when we think about these things, your values can be very different from my values. So what do you value? What are your values, right? Do you value things? Some people have a lot of things. They collect stuff, right? Some people feel as though they're quite minimalistic. Yeah, you may be one of those people, right? I know somebody who has this placement. Open a closet door and there's like an unbelievable amount of hats. Go in the garage and there's like an unbelievable amount of gadgets and tools, right? And this isn't someone who uses tools for a living. But my point is, because it's in the ninth house, right? Whatever your beliefs are, there may be some things that have to do with your belief where you might be very idealistic. And you may have, and even at times, people may have thought, I don't want to say you're delusional, but anytime we talk about stuff being Jupiter in the ninth house, it kind of exaggerate and blows things out of proportions. So if you have a strong desire for things or love, right? The attraction thing, right? Things are drawn to you type of thing. There's an exaggeration of that. And it's not necessarily that you're doing the exaggerations, the energy is just there. So once we are aware of that, it kind of, we see it when we see it ourselves in our own life, like, oh, wow, I really didn't think I had so many of those. I didn't realize that I had 300 pairs of shoes. Oh my gosh, right? Or I didn't think I had 300 pairs of that, or whatever the heck that thing is, okay? Now, if it's a release in your values, whatever it is you value, it doesn't have to always be something tangible. It can, okay? But we have to kind of go through the Taurus keywords because, well, there's so many of you who are very different, even though you have the same sign. So I'll go over these keywords, right? So some peace and some harmony. That's Taurus, right? Because Venus rules Taurus. So it could be finances and banking. Okay. Maybe you're just closing an account out at a bank. Maybe you have a lot of money. Maybe you have a buttload of finances. Maybe you have investments. Are you into investing? Are you into banking and all that? Like, is there something there for you where you feel like, okay, there's going to be a release of some sort. Maybe you're just transferring funds. It doesn't have to be crazy, but at the same time, there may be surprises. I guess got to keep it real. There could be surprises because this eclipse is happening right next to Uranus. So authority figures are involved in this, right? Now, again, because it's your ninth house, it's really going to be more about your beliefs about something, okay? However, you may have a love and a desire for travel. Yeah, because this is that placement. You love traveling, right? There may be where you're looking at your finances, you're like, okay, I'm sorry, but I can't go on vacation this year. It might be as simple as that. Absolutely. It might be something about a religion. It might be a teacher even that you're releasing or letting go. Because remember, it's an eclipse. It's a full moon eclipse. I don't think I said that part. I was trying to keep the astrology out of it, but that's what full moons are all about. They're a culmination of emotions, right? And so when we get that, we kind of are like, okay, I'm done, right? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done, right? So for some folks, it could have to do with what and who you love, because that is also Taurus. Okay. So food might be involved, things about the earth, animals, nature in general. Taurus is about quality, but it's also the five senses. It's aesthetics. So it could be clothing, right? Taurus energy. It's the material and the tangible world. And it's like fashion and jewelry, makeup and hair, right? That's all Venus ruling the Taurus energy, feminine energy here. So this eclipse, strong feminine qualities because it's the moon, which is feminine and female. Well, I'll say feminine. It could be mother wounds and stuff like that. It could be issues about mom. And so maybe there was, when you were a child, maybe something happened in the past. And so if it did, maybe there's this belief that you formed associated with mom. And so there might be something that occurs, right, where it kind of jostles that belief that you were firmly holding onto based on your values because it's Taurus. Ninth house, spirituality, religion, right? It is also the judicial system. So there may be a little of something going on for you in your mind and challenges to your beliefs or triggers to your beliefs, where you're realizing, okay, you might be making some changes in your belief systems about certain, whether it's Congress people or representatives, I'll put it like that. Okay. People who represent you. Something's happening, right? There's a release of some sort, but it's going to bring in something new, a new value. When we let whatever this thing is go, this value that we have, we're making room so that something new can come in. It could be money. It could be a new love. It could be a new religion. It could be a new value with my freedoms. Like, I have to let that go because I don't have enough me time or enough time to travel or enough things to do the things that I value, the things that I love, right? I just haven't done it in so long and I got to get back to that. It's a very rooted, grounded energy. It's earthy, it's Taurus. It likes peace, it likes harmony. This is quite a prophetic, right? Prophetic, meaning not pathetic, prophetic, meaning prophet type of energy. You may get divine downloads, right? You may get information. You may say things at times and people are just like, how did that person know that, right? Because that ninth house can hear things from the universe about the future, right? And it's Taurus. And in ancient astrology, Taurus rules the spoken word. But it's not just the spoken word. Think about the original spoken word. It first began with a word, right? So it goes biblical at times, right? And so it's interesting, right? Very interesting. Now, they're saying to hush up already, mix up a card. They're saying to give them a little bit of one of these kind of shuffles. So let me do that for you. And I heard to just go ahead and cut the deck already and take the card from the top after I've done this. Got it. Okay. So they said to cut the deck which means this is the new card on top. What's it gonna be? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm crazy. You got Mercury, news and information, Gemini, networking. This could be digital. I said the ninth house was teaching. It's learning and teaching, but it's kind of like college level. So it's like extended education. But this card shows me that it's learning possibly just a new skill of some sort because it's Gemini and Mercury, possibly a new way of thinking, your mind changing. Keep in mind, this is the opposite of your ninth house. So there's something about the way you talk, but really the way you think, which then will change the way that you communicate. And all of that talking and thinking, the brain changing, the neural pathways being, I'm hearing neural pathways firing new, just lighting up parts of the brain that were kind of stagnant before for you. And so what that's going to do is this speeds things up. Yeah, this speeds things up. Right. Which might actually be really, really helpful. I know in the beginning I mentioned something about maybe being accused of being a little long winded when talking about things because you value all the details. And so you feel like you should share all the details. And this is the details, right? So this is more information, more details, but I'm hearing speed things up, right? See how Mercury has wings on the hat and on the feet? Yeah, this is Gemini energy, right? Mercury rules Gemini. Information, emails, the mail, phone calls. This is sales. This is learning, teaching. Could be students like grade school kids. This can also be coworker energy. Yeah, maybe you're going to be training somebody. But again, this is that ninth house energy of yours, right? And that release, business and markets, ledgers. That's what Mercury does. Mercury does it best. It keeps track of things. That's Mercury's job. Yeah, keeps track of things. Communication. It's the deliverer of the information. Mercury, ancient astrology, messenger of the gods. Yeah, I'm hearing that when we talked about the new neural pathways, opening up, if depending upon who you are and where you're at in your journey, if you want to hear messages from the universe, like if you want to work in that kind of work, whether it's, you know, channeling or, yeah, there's just something here for you. Maybe it's something more religious for you. It could be, but yeah, this is a new beginning, new. Remember, this is fun. This card adds fun to this stuff. Yeah, because Mercury is a little bit more of a chatterbox, likes to talk, likes to keep busy, likes variety. This is a mover and a shaker. Mover and a shaker. So enjoy your November and remember that I value you. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.